Hey, what's up? It's your favorite homegirl, KAYANARICH, and this is the 2024 forecast reading for my Virgo babes. Now, of course, this is a general message, so please apply what resonates and leave what doesn't, okay? So, when we go into 2024 and we look at it for Virgo, this is really going to be the season of you taking chances, um, of you really focusing on your inner self, and then also really healing your inner child, or more so your inner teen. Okay. So, Virgo, this year, the eighth year, is really focusing on kind of like a rebirth for you. You guys are really going through a lot of death. And then a lot of rebirth. This is going to be, could be a potential very uncomfortable season for you. And this could potentially be very uncomfortable because everything that you are used to, especially as an earth sign, and the things that really ground you and the things that really make you feel understood, seen, and heard, some of those things are going to shake up a bit. And so it might be that you're simply just having to be a little bit more comfortable with stepping out of your comfort zone, doing things that you're not necessarily used to, all while still maintaining a very positive attitude and a very positive outlook on life. Okay. One of the main things that I really want to focus on that is potentially going to be ending for you is really surrounding what your home looks and feels like, and then also surrounding your normal day to day routine. Now, again, Virgo, I know that you do like to have control over things and you like to be able to know when you need to navigate certain spaces and what navigating those certain spaces are going to really look like for you. Okay. So I know that this is going to be something that may be a little bit tricky in the beginning for you to be comfortable enough to kind of relinquish the control when it comes to your day to day routine, when it comes to the things that you're doing on a normal basis, and then most importantly, your home. Okay. Now, for a lot of Virgos, you find comfort when your home is in a specific way, a specific order. And your home is usually a direct correlation of where you are mentally. So when your home is very messy, very scattered, that is literally in direct correlation with what your mental state is. When your home is neat, in order, and organized, that is really a reflection of where you currently are. So, for a lot of Virgos that I'm talking to right now, you could be in that middle ground, that middle space, where you are definitely feeling like you're trying to figure out what are the things that you want to keep in your home, what are the things that you want to bring into your home, and what are the things that you want to remove from your home. Again, keep in mind that this could also be where a lot of Virgos are moving or doing major home renovations. It could be that these major home renovations or this move is not something that you necessarily planned. And so that could be where the friction is really coming from this year. So now that you kind of know that ahead of time, you can kind of give yourself the opportunity to maybe make a little bit of changes, be a little bit more comfortable with having to adjust, allowing yourself the opportunity to adjust without necessarily really clinging onto your home space super tight. For those of you who are just moving into your space, this could also represent that your home space needs a complete revamp. Now is the time where you need to make your house a home. So now is the time where you need to add more painting. You need to express yourself through the walls of your home. You need to figure out what your style is. You need to figure out what you want your home to look and feel like. Now is going to be a really pivotal time for you to really focus on doing that. So, again, your home and your daily routine is really going to be where things shake up for you. When we talk about your daily routine, Virgo, it's really important for you to prioritize your health and put some order and structure in your day to day routine. Now, for a lot of you, this could be your physical health, this could be your mental health, this could more so be your spiritual health. Really coming in with those spiritual practices, really making sure that you are keeping up with your physical, your spiritual, and your mental hygiene, knowing when it's time to cut your losses, knowing when it's time to bring in more people to help you, and knowing when it's also time to just, again, relinquish that control and really just let things fall into place for you. Okay. Now, when we talk about the other aspects of your life, I do definitely feel like we need to talk about healing your inner child, and the reason, or sorry, healing your inner teen. And the reason why I really emphasize on healing your inner teen is that healing your inner teen is going to fall into how you manage your finances. It's going to fall in how you spend, getting yourself out of debt, and really also focus on overall your financial health. Okay, just keep in mind that your inner teen is the person who felt the most suppressed when you were really stepping into who you are, or when you were really stepping into who you want to be. Keep that in mind. So healing your inner teen could simply be really reviewing your finances this year and really making sure that you're not emotionally spending. Really make sure that you are not allowing yourself to be in spaces that feel very clustered, because that is kind of like your inner teen trying to hold on to so many things to relink to feel comfortable and to feel like you have control, to feel like you are in control. So again, that's going to be really important for you, Virgo, is just really giving yourself the opportunity to really heal your relationship with money. Really allow yourself to know that you are abundantly secure, but also being abundantly responsible when it comes to your finances. You might find that in the beginning half of the year is going to be where you are potentially, living on top of the world. You have a lot of finances, a lot of things are coming into motion for you, a lot of things are coming into play, and a lot of things are working well for you. What is going to be the major pivotal moment for you is going to more so be surrounding when you are more so in a space of not having the financial means that you're looking for, not having the financial freedom that you necessarily want when we come into the end of the year and around your solar return. So it's really important that you, again, really focus on making sure that you are not spending irresponsibly, making sure that you are not trying to overcompensate for something with your money, and then also making sure that you are creating healthy boundaries where you're learning that it's okay for you to say no to certain people in your life. If you financially cannot do something, then you financially cannot do something, okay? And so you have to be okay with learning to really navigate those spaces and really learn to really focus on what's the most important for you. Okay, also when we talk about healing your inner teen, that's really going to be where your confidence lies and your inner anger. So I want you to really focus as you're going through the first few months of the equinox, the spring equinox. I want you to really focus on figuring out what are the things that trigger you, Virgo. What are the things that make you feel like you are out of control, or what are the things that trigger really strong emotions? What are those things? And really start to unpack what those emotions look and feel like for you. Really allow yourself to go through the motion of unpacking your childhood. And again, I want you, yes, while it is very important to focus on your inner child, because the inner child is where the creativity lives. The inner child is where the creativity lives. It is where you really focus on what safety looks and feels like to you. That is where you can really focus on healing, inner child wounds, abandonment issues, attachment styles. That is obviously going to be, or can be, one of your main focuses this season. But I want you to also really focus on that inner teen, that confidence, that anger, that feeling like you don't fit in, that feeling like you need to express yourself more, that feeling like, those moments where you feel like nobody gets you, and it really breeds that frustration and it really breeds that annoyance. Giving yourself the opportunity to be able to, again, navigate those situations correctly. So I really do think that that's going to be kind of your main focal points when it comes to you kind of figuring out what you need to heal and how you need to heal. And not only is the inner child and teen going to help you financially, but it is also going to help restructure your family and your familial and your platonic and your romantic relationships. It's going to allow you to no longer have that tug of war where you're really struggling with being comfortable with relinquishing control. It's not going to have where, there's a lot of chaos when it comes to some of your romantic relationships, because you lack having or creating the safe spaces that make you feel comfortable, maybe with communicating how you feel. It's no longer going to play those roles anymore. And so that's going to be really important for you, and just making sure that you're, again, allowing yourself that opportunity to really kind of focus on what matters. So talk, and when we also look at your dynamic when it comes to your romantic relationships. Virgo, this is going to be the year where your relationships are really deepening. The things that matter to you most are really going to be highlighted in your relationships. You're going to find that for a very long time, you might have been very comfortable with you not being in romantic relationships, or being in romantic relationships that are very stagnant. However, this year is going to really push you out of your comfort zone, and it's really going to put you in a space where you're starting to recognize the areas of your life that you're not the happiest. And while this could be that you are maybe learning to create better boundaries with your friends, you are learning to create better boundaries with your family, learning when it's time to say no, but also learning when it's time to say yes, and when it's time to just live a little bit. I'm really kind of figuring out how to navigate that. When it comes to your friendships, learning the key to knowing when you're simply going through growing pains, and when the pain is coming because you're not growing together. Okay. So I don't want to be that person that's telling you, oh, if your friends aren't going with you, if your friends want to stay stagnant, drop them like hot potato. I'm not saying that. I'm definitely not saying that. But what I am saying is that you're going to really have to use your discernment this year to be able to identify, are these friends that I can really hold on to? Are these friends that I can really appreciate? Or are these friends that I'm going to have to kind of like, depart health in a healthy way? And the funny thing about it is, if we're being completely honest, the funny thing about it all is that while you are navigating this space, and while you are allowing yourself to navigate this space, it literally just started raining. And so again, this is really echoing that kind of like death and rebirth. It's really echoing that, like, a lot of things are clearing off of your slate, Virgo, so that new things can come into play. When we go back again, and I'm talking about your home, bring in those plants, bring in those elements of earth, bring in those elements of, grounding yourself, spending time outside, spending time, getting comfortable with being naked. And I don't mean physically naked, but I mean getting comfortable with, not having the extensions, not having the nails, not having the lashes, being in your natural state, being in your natural element, and really rebuilding from there, because there is going to be a lot of opportunity for you to rebuild. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for you to grow, and for you to really step into this new version of yourself. Virgo, this is going to be a very lucky year for you, but the only way that the luck is really going to fall into place for you is, again, if you start to put things in motion, if you start to prioritize the things that matter, okay? If you start to allow yourself to really kind of see what matters and really emphasize on that. I want to talk about a little bit your career. And your career, Virgo, is really asking for you to be able to show up as your authentic and your genuine self. For a lot of you, this may mean that you are starting to ask the questions: if this career is really the career for me, if this is a career that I can really see myself being in. Do I need to maybe try something new? You're going to really start to ask yourself those questions. And while you are asking yourself those questions, I want you to really get comfortable with acknowledging that while you are asking those questions and you are trying to navigate your career, that doesn't mean completely give up on the career that you have. That doesn't mean that you completely walk away cold turkey, because again, Virgo, you don't do well with lack of control. So if you decide to go on a whim and quit your job and you don't have a backup plan, it's going to do more to your mental health than anything else. So again, making sure that you're being responsible with the decisions that you're making, but you're being very intentional with them at the same time. Okay. I really want you guys to also kind of really focus on, when it comes to romantic relationships, to really allow your vulnerability to show. I feel like a lot of you are choosing partners based on the aesthetic. A lot of you are choosing partners based on what looks good, like what is going to look good to other people, what looks good on paper. Sometimes it's not about what looks good on paper. Sometimes it's about what looks good inside. What is this person doing? Is this person adding to your life? Are they removing things from your life? What is this person doing? Are they adding value or decreasing the value of your life? Those are the questions that you really need to start asking yourself. And the reason why I say that is because, Virgo, again, emphasizing that you are a reflection of your partners. You are a reflection of your friends. You are a reflection of the circle that you keep. You watch the company you keep and the crowd you bring. Okay. So you have to be very mindful of the people that you're surrounding yourself with. What I want you to remember, Virgo, is this analogy. You know, when you get something new, you get something shiny, you get something lit, and let's say, for example, you purchase a new car. The moment that you get into that car and you start driving is the moment that you start seeing cars that look exactly like the one that you have, right? Is all of a sudden now your car becomes a popular thing. Before it was passing you by and you never acknowledged this. And I seen this somewhere on I think it was TikTok or Instagram, where they were talking about this and they were saying that there's an actual medical term for this. However, what I want to say to you is if you keep hanging around negative minded people and you keep hanging around people who have a lack of mindset, what do you think is or a scarcity mindset? What do you think is going to happen to your life, Virgo? Your life is going to start to reflect the company that you keep. When you start surrounding yourself with people who are trying to elevate, with people who are not gossiping, with people who are in the same position or better than you, it will be the motivating factor. You guys are all on the same journey together. And I'm not saying that the people who are vibrating at a lower frequency are terrible people, but they have deeper healing to do. That, you want to obviously keep people around you who, I know that this doesn't sound the best, but I mean it in the purest way, the people that are a little bit below you, for motivational purposes only. When you start to navigate new spaces and you realize that the people who are maybe a few steps behind you are not using you as motivation, but instead using your accomplishments to fuel their jealousy, because Virgo, you karmically are always going to surround people who are jealous of you. Okay, you're always going to be surrounded by people who see you. They want to be close to you because they just want to be in close proximity of beauty and poise, but they don't always understand what you have to do behind closed doors to have that beauty, to have that poise, to have that confidence, to be blessed, to have that abundance. And so just really be careful of the crowd that you keep and the company that you keep and the people that you allow around you, because I do feel like that is going to be what really makes or breaks it. Okay. But I want you, Virgo, to really be intentional, follow your dreams, be willing to take chances, be willing to take a risk, be willing to allow yourself to step outside of your comfort zone. Really focus on your health, really start eating more greens, really start getting in tune with nature, really get into a body of water and really do a good cleanse. Really just try to be intentional with the people that you are surrounding yourself with and the energy that you're giving out into the world. It's okay for you to go into hermit mode sometimes, but again, if you're going into hermit mode, let it be with intention. If you're going into hermit mode, let it be because you are actively working on healing your inner child and your inner teen. You are actively isolating so that you can reintegrate. And again, you guys always hear me talk about the reintegration process or the integration process. You have to be willing to do the work by yourself. Yes, sure, cool, but you have to also be willing to integrate yourself and interact and mingle with new people so that you can see what parts of your growth that you have to work on. Altogether, Virgo, I honestly feel like this is going to be the year where you change for yourself, where you set yourself up to be financially blessed, where you attract the amazing partners and people and tribe that you need in your life, and most importantly, where you start to really get connected spiritually. This is going to be a very pivotal year for you in the sense that um you are being able, or you are having the opportunity to have a rebirth moment, with a lot of Virgos coming in the 8th month August, coming in at the end of the 7th month July. This is literally like the death to rebirth period. Okay. And then your growth continues in all aspects of your life. So I really want you to go into this new year with the intention that you are ever evolving, you are ever growing, you are ever blessed, you are ever you are ever allowing abundance to meet you. Okay. And I want you to just, again, just be very intentional and allow yourself to go through the healing process and allow yourself to go through the healing phases. The more that you tap into your creativity, the more that you allow creativity and art and the fine beauty and the childlike things that you genuinely love to do, or the things that you always wanted to do as a child but never had the opportunity to in your childhood. Filter those things more into your life. And the more that you allow those things to be a part of your day to day is going to be the more that you find that this year is probably one of the easiest, most seamless, most effortless years yet. I hope that this message provides you with clarity. I hope that it brings you the peace and the excitement that you need, Virgo, because you deserve it. Peace and blessings, loves. Bye.